What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to podcast number 2, the Saiffers BPat podcast. I'm BPat. That's Saiffers. We got a big slate coming up for day 2 in Rome. Tons of great matchups, a lot of tight matchups in the WTA, also in the ATP. Day 1 was not too bad. We both ended up going positive. I'm going to let Saiffers kind of go over what went down, and then we'll hop right into the picks right after.
Yo, what's good? You can never complain with a positive day, but I don't know, man. Day one in Rome, I feel like when you make 15 bets, or I mean, personally speaking, when I make 15 bets, I expect to come out with more than 2 units. Honestly, I mean, no one can complain with profit, but
Yeah.
um, I think it could have got a lot better. I think Teichmann losing that match was kind of shitty. Same with Bublik. Musetti came through for some people, but that is a void bet for me. I think it was alright though, all things considered. Hopefully day two is even better.
Yeah, you know how
What
we
about
do.
you?
As we get closer to the end of the tournament, I think our confidence just shoots up and we tend to just run through everything. I think it's good for the first day. I'm not disappointed at all. I just to make it out
I
green the
agree.
first day. I sat out in Madrid's first day, or not that I sat out. I just didn't really get in on it heavily. But after how I felt about all the matchups yesterday, I felt I didn't feel super confident. I didn't think I was gonna sweep anything like that. So I'm happy to make it out. Plus 2 units. I would have been up 4 units. Bublik also let me down. But I'm also glad with the results.
Mhm.
Some people showed up that I really expected to, and some things kind of just went a little bit off. But I'm learning for sure. One thing, Rogers, that will never happen again. I should have listened to you in the podcast.
Yeah.
Another thing in the Nishikori, I should have taken the money line, man. I took the over, and it let me down. But I think I'm a lot more confident, so in these picks today. I'm not sold on any of them. Like this is a banger 3 unit, 5 unit, 10 unit play. But I think there's some really good matchups and some potential to have a really good day. So I'm ready to hop into them whenever you are. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, yeah. I feel the same way, but did Rogers win her match? I
No,
think
she didn't. I'm glad she
um
lost after the way she started choking right there.
wow.
Yep, she lost.
I I kind of I forgot to check back into that match after the third set. So Martic won her first game of the year, huh?
Yep, it's crazy, man. In a comeback, she won the second
Wow.
set and the third set. I think she won 6-3, 6-4, or it was 6-4, 6-3, one of those combos. But yeah, she kind of rolled Rogers. As soon as she got the ball rolling, she took it over.
Oh, good for her, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
After my bet was done, I knew it was done. I was like, please, just get the win.
Lose.
Yeah, Rogers,
Get
you
out of
suck.
here.
I'm done with you. That's it.
Yeah. Fair.
All right, so as we do, ladies first, we're gonna start with our day 2 matchups for Rome. Um, the first matchup we have Trevisan and Shvedova. This one for me is a clear cut pass. I see no side to take here. Both of these players are absolutely god awful this year. Um, Trevisan is 2-11 overall, 0-3 on clay. Shvedova is 1-8 overall, 0-2 on clay. I just can't see myself taking a player, whether they have the edge or not. I can't see myself hopping on one side here. Just I don't know. It's a big fade for me. The only thing that kind of stood out to me as like a potential bet, I think I saw the line was really one sided. Um, but yeah, as of right now, it's definitely a pass for me.
I'm with you on that. I think both of these chicks received wild cards, so like the way that works is like they're invited. Like every tournament invites, saves these things. I think there's like two or three every tournament called a wild card, where you can invite anyone you want. It can be like a 15-year-old or any other bum on tour. You don't have to qualify or have a good ranking or nothing. So I think it's these two chicks. They're both wild cards. I will definitely pass this. I know Trevisan used to be good, man. She's not even old. She's not even old like that. She's only 27, but she's definitely fallen off in the past few years. I think the line's -5. That might be a
Yeah.
lot. But no, there's a lot better matchups, I think. But I'm gonna pass. But I'd say over if I had to bet. Travis Sloan is so bad.
Yeah.
I don't think she covers -5 either, though.
It's a big fade for me. Yeah. I'm staying away.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoever loses this is gonna be absolutely obliterated by Barty in the next round. But yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, true.
I think that's enough said about
Bro,
that.
you see, that's what I mean. Barty always gets the easiest draws,
You're not
bro.
wrong. Hey,
She
that's what you get
probably
with number one. You get number one. You always typically go up against the worst player in your first match. So until somebody takes the throne,
man.
Sabalenka, it's just gonna be a repeat every single tournament. We're gonna keep seeing it.
Yeah, well, she'll. Okay, we'll get to it when we get to it,
Yeah,
I guess.
you're right. You're right. Um, Next up, you want to start us off with that one?
Yes, I'm seeing Christina Mladenovic versus Benchitch.
Yeah.
Um, I think these I think these two girls played in the first round of Madrid. Yes, they did. 6'4", 6'2" Benchich. Mladenovic is really, really experienced on the clay court. That is her preferred surface, but that doesn't show these days. She's been doing really bad. Um, she's not playing well at all. I remember actually in Madrid in the first round, I took Mladenovic because I always fade Benchich early on.
See, I haven't
Excuse
learned
me.
those types of fading things yet. I don't have players that are instant fades yet.
But I can't do it this time. I remember the line in Madrid, Mladenovic was between +120 to +140,
Wow.
which is like all right, like I might play this. I think now she's like up to 200 or even more.
Yeah, 210 right now.
Um I don't think she can win a game, man. I think she got placed as a lucky loser. I think she lost qualies. Yeah, she did. She
Yep.
she lost to Zvonareva in qualies. She got a lucky loser spot. Yeah, she shouldn't be here. I don't think you can go wrong with Benchich minus the game, sorry, uh, or a potential under. But I mean, like I always say, like these lucky losers, like they have absolutely nothing to lose. Might surprise you. I mean, Benchich ain't all that either, but I don't know. What say you?
For me, I'm thinking about riding with Benchich here. I was seeing the line at -4, as it is on some books such as like Bovada. On my personal book, we're sitting at -4.5. The odds are at -105, so I think that's actually pretty decent value. The only thing that kind of scares me is that a lot of players, when they get blown out by one player, it's gonna go one way or the other. She's gonna get blown out again, or it's gonna be a tight dogfight. Um, Sometimes I think we saw it today in, I can't remember who it was, but one of the players, the Swiatek and Risk. Risk actually put up a pretty big fight, and
Oh yeah,
yeah, so I'm glad I stayed away from that. It ended up being a walkover, but it was close for the short amount of time that they were on the court. But yeah, I think I definitely lean Benchich here. I think she's just a much better player, and started off this season fairly decent. Nothing too crazy. She's gotten beaten, or all the players who have beaten her in her clay matches have been pretty good. With Podaroska beating her 2 out of those 3 times. The other one being Alexandrova. But I think Benchich has really got the upper edge here, and I think she's going to take this by probably 5 or 6 games.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I like that. Honestly, I don't like Benchich, but I like it.
Yeah, I think this will probably be not a high unit play, but probably something around like 1 or 2 units maybe. Yeah. So next up, what do you have? Stevens and Keys.
Sloane Stevens and Madison Keys. All right, I just want to say something real
Do your
quick.
thing.
If there was like if there was like a metric or like a stat or something um that measures like how good you are based on your ranking, like and I don't know how to explain, like in relevance to your ranking, how
Yeah,
well you
I get what you
perform.
mean.
These two chicks have to be the absolute worst on tour, like in the top 500. If you look at a player's ranking and then how they perform on court, this is way off. I mean, somehow these two chicks are still top 50 players. I mean, Sloane's all the way down to 65, but I think she started the year in the top 40 or something. Um, but no, this is Oof, I don't even want to talk about this game,
This a
honestly.
fade match for you?
Me, like neither of these girls are worth backing, no matter what. Honestly, I mean, Sloane might win. Madison Keys is so bad, and I mean, and so is Stevens. Um, I don't really know. They played in Charleston. I think Stevens won quite convincingly. I mean, like 6 years ago, this
Six
was
four,
a
six
pretty
four
good
was
matchup.
the final there. So she won by 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, not bad. Um, like I was saying, like 5 or 6 years ago, this would have been a banger. I think both of these girls met in the U.S. Open semifinal or final, and both being Americans, like this was a big game
Yeah.
a couple years back. But right now, it's just, blech.
Yeah, I agree. Although I do kind of lean towards Stevens. Since it is a -2 currently, Stevens is definitely on the table for me. Um, I was looking at the money line just because I didn't really want to play the games here, but the money line is just a little too juice for me. I think it's sitting at like -165, which just doesn't. I can't see myself laying down that much juice for somebody who I don't have very much confidence in. I think it's gonna be a boring match. As you tend to say, this will not end up on my TV, my phone, my computer. It will be
Yep,
nowhere
yep.
near. But yeah, I think I would lean Stevens. Money line for sure. I think she'll take this match. And I think I might take the games too. Not sure if this will be a play I'll be taking, but I think that would be my pick for this one.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Stevens is the slightly less worse player. I don't even want to say better.
Yeah.
She might not be as bad as Keys at the moment. So yeah, fair play.
All right. Who's next?
Yo, I'm liking this. There's 5 games, I think 4 games, in this early window. Last of the four is, Laura Siegmund and Nadia Podaroska.
What you thinking? I got a side here.
What up, yeah, me too. I actually have two bets on this game that I'm
I do too.
pretty comfortable with.
I do
Pretty
too.
comfortable with. Oh, okay, you want to go first, or
No,
should
no,
I
no,
go
no, no,
ahead?
no, 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 no. I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay, so I mean, this is a really good first round match. If I'm Poderoska, like knowing that I'm playing a qualifier in the first round, and then it being Laura Siegmund, like I'd be pissed. Like Laura Siegmund's a quality player, um, and like it's pretty unlucky to call her like, oh, I'm playing a qualifier. Okay, cool, it's Laura Siegmund. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's a tough match. However, I mean Laura Siegmund is favored too, which I don't believe should be the case. She's like -260, so um, I mean she's a good player. But I like Podoroska plus the games. I think four. If I can get 4.5, that'd be nice. But I think it's +4, a flat four. Money lines like sort of 220, 225, which I might stick my finger in. But I do also like the over for sure.
Watch where you
I
stick
think
your
we see
finger,
three
man. Watch where you
sets.
stick your finger.
No, bro, I'm sticking my finger in all kind of holes this week.
Okay, okay. Too much bagel talk.
Yeah, okay. But no, I think I'll take Podoroska +4. Which is actually something I like to do a lot. Like double dip in the game. I love going dog spread and over. It works really well. Putin Seva and Golf today, I cast
Uh,
the dog spread and the over. I think we see a similar sort of thing here.
So I got something interesting for you. So what I was actually looking at was Siegmund -4. I just think
Oh,
I thought you were gonna maybe be on my side, but personally I think she's just the better player. I'm now looking a little bit deeper into their previous play, and
hmm
I see that Sigmund doesn't really have that much of an edge, not as much as I thought before. Um, I would still somewhat
right.
lean Sigmund. Probably be a little bit weary about it, just considering you would be on the other side. And I know you know your stuff. So I was also looking at the under too, just because when I initially looked at the matchup, I saw Sigmund as like a much better player. So that's what really jumped out to me because I feel like if Siegmund wins by more than 4 games, the under would definitely be in play. Confidence is kind of middle to low here. Not going too crazy about it, but I think that would be my play. I think I'd be on the other end of the spectrum. I think I'd be Siegmund -4 and potentially an under. But I don't think I would play both, considering this isn't a matchup that I'm really sold on. But I see what you're saying.
Okay,
I see
fair
what you're
enough.
saying. I see how Podaroska could potentially keep this tight and pull out a pull out a maybe a 3-setter like you were saying. So
I mean, look, she hasn't played on clay yet this season. Um, I think she played in all the way back in March, but not on the European clay. She actually hasn't really played much since Miami, Podaroska. But I mean, they're both. I think this is like an even game. I think Siegmund's slightly overvalued because of just her being the better player historically, and also more experienced on clay, and also she's had time on the European clay lately. So I think that is all factored into the line. I mean, as far as quality goes, I don't think Siegmund should be laying 4 games against Podoroshka. And I don't know, man. Siegmund always seems to make things hard for herself. Like even if she's doing better in matches, and she's got the upper hand, um, she could throw it all the way. She could throw it all away next set.
she did it in
And I feel like
Rome
she's an over. Yeah, man. I feel like
or in the
she's an over
qualifiers.
machine.
This is Rome.
No, no, yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think we could see 3 sets. Why not, man? She loves herself a 3-setter. Laura does.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So moving on to the next round of matchups. My next one I see here is Kudermetova and Mertens. So
Oh, okay. Here we go, man.
all right.
First,
So
first banger of the day.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like this one a lot. So what I'm
I
seeing
hope
here,
I hope you did the right decision
I
here.
probably didn't. I probably did not at
Look,
all.
there's only one correct play to make.
And I know what
Given
you're gonna
all the
say.
facts.
I know what you're gonna say,
Yep.
and you're gonna say
Yep.
Kudermetova money line. Is that right?
Absolutely, bro. That is
Oh my goodness! Cause
absolutely.
listen here. I'm leaning towards Mertens -2.5.
Oh, get out of here, man.
Hey. So let me break it down from my perspective. So,
All right, tell me.
in their last two meetings, the last time they met up in where was it? We were looking at
Istanbul.
Istanbul. Mertens
Mm.
won 6-1, 6-4. I don't think that is very showing as to what Kudermetova's current game is at. But I do think that Mertens has the upper hand here. It was embarrassing what she did in Madrid, whether she was injured or not. The match was pretty much over. She could have played the last half of that game and then played the last game and taken the L like a champ. But um, I think she still definitely has the upper hand here. She's playing very well on clay. This last tournament not so good as Istanbul, but I think she just has the upper hand here. Kudermetova is playing absolutely fantastic. I think she could have beaten Kvitova in Madrid for sure. But yeah, that's where I land here. I think Kudermetova will make it an interesting match. I probably would only put one unit if I was going to go with Mertens here, but that's just where my head's at.
Oh, BPat. I did. There is one and only one play to make on
Oh
this game. I
gosh.
think it's so easy. Like I don't understand. Like you can totally forget the total. I mean, if you're getting Kudermetova plus 120, um, against Mertens, you just take it and sit back and hope she wins. In my opinion. Um, but no, you make some good points. I'm gonna talk about Mertens first. Yeah, their meeting in Istanbul was a very convincing Mertens win over Kudermetova 6-1, 6-4. Um, but like you said, I don't think she can replicate that. I don't think that's like a reliable result to go off. Considering both of these players' games, I don't think like she can do that again.
Yeah.
Um, and in that tournament, she ended up losing in the final. Mertens did to Sorana Cirstea. Um, and then after that in Madrid, I mean, she played out of her mind against Halep, and then got absolutely embarrassed by Sabalenka. But I
That
don't know, man. I
Sabalenka
feel
is
like
is the goat though. So I mean,
no,
I
but I mean she got,
yeah.
that's
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm
That's
talking pride. Like
yeah. That's a
I
beatdown.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, right, like that. You're gonna feel that. That's gonna stick with you for like a week or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Most definitely.
if this injury is lingering, if it even was like a physical injury, that's something to consider. But um, yeah, man, Kudermatova, you see, plus 150 when I saw it yesterday, and it's down to plus 120. Um, I think a little bit of the value is gone, but I mean it's still at plus money, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's you know that's gonna be on my card
Oh yeah.
today tomorrow.
I'm getting up for that one. That's for sure. It'll be 5:15 a.m. my time, but I'll be here. I'll be ready to go. We'll be in the Discord chatting it up, and it's gonna be an exciting one. I just
Uh,
think -2.5 is it's gonna be a tight match. That's for sure. But I think -2.5 is definitely reachable within two, potentially even three sets. I think she could still pull it off. But yeah, this one, it's gonna be tight. I think either woman, whoever's on their game, is gonna take it, and that's both of us are gonna have to live with that outcome. So
Fair enough. Yeah, like I always say, -2.5 is a good spread. I think it favors the favorite. Like if you're laying 2.5, like that's cool. But if you're catching 2.5, that's not really something I'd be interested in. So it's money line for me. But just to note, when they met in Istanbul, I was actually on the over, and that's it. Um, so
yeah,
yeah. Let's see what happens. We'll be the first banger of the day, though.
yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt. All right, what you got next for us?
I'm looking at Bernardo Pera versus Zidansek.
Let's do it. Start us off.
Oh man, I've been seeing Bernardo Pera's name a lot these days. She seems to be playing a lot of matches, which I think is a good thing for her. Because she is also one of these rhythm players, and kind of being out of the loop a little bit from like the top 50, like to get all these reps, in big tournaments against some decent players. Like I think that's good for her. She's definitely a very capable player. But so is I think her name's Tamara Zidansek. Um, this will be a good game. I absolutely love the over. Neither of these chicks are usually consistent enough in a match to kind of sweep like that and dominate set one, set two. And Pera, a lot of her sets go into tie breaks, which I think will be golden if we see one of those. Hard to pick a side. Hmm, uh, they're pretty even though, and the prices. I actually don't see this game, but
I'm
what's
seeing
Para at?
Pera plus 20 on my book.
Plus 120.
Yep, that's my pick.
You know what? I kind of like. Oh, really? I kind of like that, but I think I like the over a little bit
I'm
better.
I'm on the
Hard to
over
pick a side here.
and the money line here. I uh I agree with you completely with the over. I think this will be an exciting three setter. I think Pera's been playing some great tennis right now. She's beaten some pretty good competition. Nobody really outstanding. Um, but both of these girls have the potential to take this game, or take this match. Zidane, I don't even know how to say her name. I'll call her Z. So Z, she took Barty to three sets, which was pretty impressive in Madrid. But Barty's known to kind of let a set get away from her every once in a while. I just think Pear's playing the better tennis at the moment. She may not be playing the highest quality of opponents, but her showing in Madrid, I know you don't like Benchitch that much, but I think her showing taking it to three sets, I was on the over in that match, and I really enjoyed it. She almost took it home. It went to a tiebreak in the third set, and that would have been huge for her. But yeah, I'm leaning money line for her, especially at plus money. I think it's pretty good value for this matchup. And then the over, I was on that as well. So I think this could be a tight two setter, potentially a three setter. I think this is good value for both the over and the money line.
Fair enough. I like what you're saying here. I'm glad that this is a game we finally both agree on. But yeah, let's rock with it.
There will be more. There will be
Bernarda
more.
Pera and over.
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
We gotta keep it moving. We gotta keep it moving. All right. Next up, what you got? Is it Garcia and Cocchiaretto?
Cosiaretto.
Cocchiaretto. So this one for me, after looking at it for a little while, this is another match where I don't really know too much about either player, but I think I'm leaning towards Garcia money line. It's minus 125 now on my. Sorry, I just saw a gnat in my room, so I had to smack it. But I'm leaning towards Garcia here. I think she's playing a little bit better tennis than her. She beat Kerber. That was quite some time ago in Dubai. She hasn't been playing too much tennis, but she took Halep to 3 sets, although getting blown out in the third set. I think she's just got really good value. It's not too juicy for the money line, so I kind of lean in that direction. Cocchiaretto has had such a lack of competition that makes her much more of a dog in my eyes than what the odds are showing. Garcia hasn't really had great of a year. She's even on hard courts, has yet to play a clay match. So that's what's kind of holding me back, but I think she's just the better player. I think she'll get it done.
I'm sorry. What'd you say your pick was? Garcia?
Yeah, Garcia money line minus 125.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, she's a far better player. She actually started the year off, playing a lot of tournaments, which is always good to see. Form wise or results wise, it was kind of up and down a little bit. But she played a lot on the hard court this year. So I think she took a little break. And now she's back for the clay season. But yeah, she's got a lot more quality than Cos. Excuse me, sorry. A lot more quality than Cosiereto. I do also like the over, but I think my gut just tells me to rock with the side, which is Carolina Garcia.
Yeah, same here. Damn, my voice is cracked. I think Garcia could win this in 2 potentially. So that's why I wouldn't really take I personally wouldn't take the over or the under. I don't really see much signs as far as like, oh, this could go 3, this could be 2. I think Garcia just takes it, whether it be 2 or 3. So yeah, that's it for me. So I like that we're both on the same side here, and I think it's good odds. I think she should be more of like a minus 165, something like that. So yeah, I'm rocking with it. Next up,
Let's do it.
we got a banger.
Say Zhang.
Oh, I was looking at
Okay.
Muguruza, and
Muguruza.
Pavlyuchenkova. This one's gonna be a banger.
Wow.
I'm kind
Bro,
of
it will be.
I'm leaning towards Muguruza personally. Minus 4.5.
Okay.
I would love to see minus 4 shifting in the line, but I don't think we'll see it. Considering minus 4.5 is at minus 120 right now. I think this is the biggest match of the day personally. Muguruza's returning from an injury, so she sat out in Madrid, and Pavlyuchenkova had a very impressive run last week. But when she really met one of the top players in Sabalenka, she got absolutely destroyed. And it's kind of weird here because Sabalenka is playing the best tennis out of anyone right now, so it's hard to kind of compare that. But I do think that Muguruza's skill set is kind of beyond that of the opponents that Pavlyuchenkova has really shown up against. So I think I'm leaning Muguruza here. I think she'll take it in straight sets. I think it'll be a tight one. I think it'll come down to the last couple games in the match. It could potentially be that like 5-4 range. So it's going to be a tight one, but I think that's where I lean here. I think I'm going Muguruza minus 4.5.
I tell you what, this is a very interesting game for a lot of reasons. I think the line itself is interesting because 4.5 is always tricky.
Yeah.
On both sides,
line.
it's on both sides. It's hard to feel comfortable, like no matter who it is, with a 4.5, whether it's whether you're catching them or laying them. But I'm a big fan of Muguruza. I'd say she's in my books, the top 3 players in the WTA tour are her, Kvitova, and Sabalenka.
Whoa,
Um,
Kvitova. That's a fan pick right there. I don't know if she's numbered in
oh,
the
no,
top
no,
three,
no,
but
no, and my top three. I
yeah,
mean,
okay, yeah, that's
um,
fair.
excuse me. um, but yeah, I'm seeing a flat 20 for the over, and honestly, BPat, I can't say no to that. I would like to see Muguruza get back on track and get a easy win to get started, but like you said, she's yet to play on the clay. Always a little bit I get worried when a player comes off an injury, especially against someone who has the rhythm at the moment. And even though she did get crushed by Sabalenka, I do feel like Anastasia has some momentum. And she looked gassed, like totally beat against Sabalenka, but that was almost 5 days ago, and I think that's plenty of time. Pavlyuchenkova was not one to like go back into her shell after that game. Like I think she'll be fired up. I mean, I think she'll play. I really think she'll play. And Muguruza, like on any given day, if there was no context, like I would assume that Muguruza would crush her. But I think it'll take her a little bit to get going. So maybe we see like a close first set, which might be enough for the flat over 20. 19 and a half would be nice. But that's kind of expensive, minus 130.
Yeah,
I don't know what you see. But I think I'll rock with an over.
I dig it. Even though I'm on Muguruza, minus 4.5. I do see the value in the over. That seems like kind of a low line for the momentum that Pavlyuchenkova has. So I
Mhm.
get what you're saying. The one thing that kind of just struck me as being the one thing that kind of pushes me towards Muguruza was in Charleston. It was a clay tournament. She dominated her first match, won by 8 games. Second match, she was up. She won the first set 6-0 against Putintsova, and then retired in the second. Um, so I think it shows that she's ready to play on clay. Although she doesn't have as much time on the clay as Pavlyuchenkova, I think she gets it done here. Hey, potentially both could hit. We could see a 7-5, 6-3, something like that, 6-3, 7-5. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with my gut here. Go with Muguruza, minus 4.5. But I do see the value in the over for sure, no doubt.
Absolutely. I think they're good picks. Honestly, my prediction would be um Pavlyuchenkova wins the first set relatively close, and then Muguruza kind of gets fired up and got that first set out the way, and it kind of goes like a 6-2, 6-3 later. I think that covers. I'm not sure.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll
It'll
see. All
be
right, bet, bet,
it's
bet.
gonna be a good one. It's gonna be good one. That's all we know. So yeah,
Yes,
let's
sir.
move on. We're gonna go next up, Zing and Krejcikova. Um,
All right, man.
hard
Always tricky.
hard pass for me. Um, no position I like. Um, so that's typically where I'm gonna fade. I would lean Krejcikova in this, but not sure if that line is really what I'm looking for. What is it at? Minus 4.5. I think that's too big of a gap for me, especially since Zing can sometimes keep matches close. What was it in her matchup with? Or she got dominated by Halep, but I think there's potential for her to kind of hang around. She does when she loses, she gets beaten bad, so that's kind of what makes me lean Krejcikova. But nothing seems like a lock here. I think I'm gonna pass on this one.
Fair enough. This is a tricky matchup. Barbora Krejcikova. She's having a really good year. She just absolutely cannot play on clay. Like her game, like all her strengths are kind of useless on clay. And some of her weaknesses stand out on clay, which can be exploited. She's a very poor mover around the court. She loves to hug the baseline and never likes to excuse me, attack the net or like be out of position or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Zheng is actually quite the opposite, even though she's an inferior opponent. Um, but no, Barbora Krejcikova just cannot get it going at the moment. And I think Zeng will try. I mean, never count out Zeng. She beat Magda Linette in Madrid, which I thought was super impressive. That game was a pick. I think they were both -110. And she beat Magda Linette, pretty convincingly in the end. So I will rock with another over 19 and a half, maybe 20. Um, I think this will be closer than it looks.
Yeah, that's a decent line right there. 20. It's nothing too crazy, not like a 21, 21 and a half. Also, before we move on, shout out to Lynette today. Thank you for absolutely stomping Kvitova, or thank you Kvitova for not showing up for the first set. Um, but yeah, I can see some potential in the over here. I think it's still going to be a pass for me though.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, who we got next?
Isla Tamjanovic versus Marquette Vondrousova.
All right, let's hear it. What you got for us?
Oh yeah. Marquette. I don't think a lot of people know that she's a top 20 player. Maybe she's just right outside. She's 21. And I feel like a lot of people kind of sleep on her. Um, but I'm gonna take her. Isla Tomjanovic, man. She's just very inconsistent. She never looks impressive for an entire match. Um, which makes me, she's good for overs, and she's good to fade. But she always she somehow never comes out on top, but she always somehow keeps it close. Um, I'm interested to see what you think on this. Stylistically, this is a pretty good match. Their play styles are pretty similar. Um, just with Vondrousova with all the quality, so I might take her minus some games, a couple of games.
-3.
Um, -3,
Yeah,
really?
so my
I'm saying
perspective.
-2.5.
I think it just
Sorry.
depends on the
Okay, go
player.
ahead.
Oh no, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I see -3 on mine, so that's kind of what pushes me away from this match. Potential pass here. So I would definitely hop on Vondrasova for -2.5 if it was there for me. I think she's just the better player. She's had some pretty tough draws over the last couple matches, and I think that's what's really kind of kept this line a little closer than it should be. The money line, if it were a little bit less juicy, I'd probably take a dip in it. It's about -165. I think that's what I'm seeing. I just think that's not quite what I'd be looking for in a money line pick, and I don't know if 3 games is really the type of look I'm trying to get here. I think Tom, how do you say your name?
Tomjanovic.
Tomjanovic. She had a nice win in the qualifiers against Siegmund, which is impressive, but I just don't think she has enough in her tank. She hasn't really played anybody of quality. She lost to Stevens in Charleston. She lost to Rybakina in Madrid, and Rybakina hasn't really been on top of her game. So, yeah, I think I would definitely fade her. Take Vondresa. Vondresa? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but 3 games kind of seems a little too much for my liking, so I'll probably pass here. But that's definitely where I'd be leaning as well. So I'd kind of be on the same boat as you. -2.5, I think, is a solid value right there.
Yes, sir. I like for Marquette to get back on track here. Yes, sir.
Let's see it. All right, we got 2 matches
All
left. Do you have Kerber up next? Is that the one you got?
Yep, versus Yelena Ostapenko.
Oh wait,
Oh, sorry, Kerber and Cornet. I'm sorry. Yeah,
yeah.
Kerber.
So
Sorry.
so I had Kerber and Cornet next on my list. So what I was looking at here, this is one of the lines that I didn't really see before it dropped. I was leaning Kerber money line if it was going to be a potential close matchup or if the books were going to keep it as a close one. One thing to look at is Kerber's lost the last 2 matchups between them, but they were years ago, so I don't know if that really factors into the play now. Neither of these girls have a positive record overall this year. Both of them are even on clay. I think Kerber has the more quality, just based on how she's played in recent tournaments. She's dominated the people who, the more inferior opponents, and she's somewhat kept it close against better opponents. She's been losing quite a bit whenever she reaches some good competition. But I would definitely lean Kerber here. I also see some value in a potential over. Not really sold on it though. But yeah, I don't see one side really being heavy here. I don't know. That's just me. What do you think?
Um, for old time's sake, I'm gonna take the over here because this is a classic matchup on clay. I keep on saying this, but 5 or 6 years ago, both of these chicks were like top five clay quarters. Um, that honestly kept up with like Simona Halep in her prime and Serena in her prime. They were on that level. Two European chicks, very experienced. And this is like a classic. It's a oldie but goldie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
So I'm gonna take the over. Just kind of an emotional bet. Like I'd like to see these two girls battle it out, just like the old days. But I also think it'll hit. Um, I think both of these girls are in the similar stage of their career, very familiar with their games, both very comfortable on clay. So I think it'll be really difficult for either chick to kind of make this game go under. So 20 and a half is a decent number. I think I'm gonna rock with that.
Yeah. Well, out of the leans for the game, I was thinking Kerber money line, which is too juicy. So, the over was also on the table for me. So maybe I'll ride with you on this one. We'll see.
Yes, sir.
We got
And
one more on the table. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
yeah, sorry, and I was gonna say, and on to the last one, Ostapenko and Johanna Konta.
This one's a pass for me. Another toss up. Neither of them really have shown anything. They're lifeless when they lose, and they're just not really doing too much in their wins. The only thing that kind of showed out to me was Ostapenko's win over Hercog in Madrid, which was a pretty decent matchup. Konta also beat Putintsova and then also Lynette in Miami. So I see this being very even. I don't really see a side here. I don't really have any thoughts on how this could turn out. I could see it potentially being an under just based off of the fact that when they lose the first set, not both of them. Ostapenko tends to hang around a little bit longer, but both of them, it's a lot of their matches are two setters. They either lose really poorly or they win convincingly. So yeah, I think this is a hard pass for me. What are you thinking?
What say me? I'm gonna take Ostapenko. I don't know if a lot of people know this. Ostapenko shocked the world 4 years ago and won the French Open, which is Roland Garros on clay. Absolutely shocked the entire world and had a career year. Played out of her mind and won the French Open. Which tells us she is you know she's a capable clay quarter. Johanna Konta is a fade every time for me, kind of like Benchitch. I think I put 3U on Alexandrova. Is that who she played? Sorry, it was Sevastova, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but no, she's a total fade in my opinion. I I think the line is perfect. Ostapenko should be slightly favored. Sorry. And I think if I had to play it, I'd take it -130. I did take the mistake of taking Ostapenko as a short dog against Jen Brady in Madrid. But I think Conta is a slightly more out of rhythm player and also a bit of a more inferior opponent. So I think Ostapenko gets back on track here. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, why?
I can agree with that. Like I said, I'm gonna stay away from this one. There's just so much that I already have in play, or things that I'm gonna hop on. I don't want to overload my picks, especially with things I'm not super sold on. But I definitely like Ostapinko a little more than Conta, and it's not bad value for -130. Um, like you said, she could have been slightly more of a favorite. So yeah, I like it. I dig it.
Yes, sir. And that wraps up the WTA slate.
It's gonna
Um,
be a good one, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. There's maybe like two and a half, maybe three bangers tomorrow. Kudermetova Mertens for sure. Muguruza Pavlyuchenkova for sure. Um, I don't think you can sleep on Kerber and Cornet either, or Tomjanovic and Vondrousova. And I think Siegmund and Podaroska might be a good game. Who knows? But there's a lot of interesting matches, and I'm excited to see how we do.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah. So do we want to move on to our ATP picks?
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Let's do them bums. All right. So for the ATP, our first game that we'll look at is RBA versus Tommy Paul. RBA, man, I usually like to fade him. Um, but I think Tommy Paul is just such an inferior opponent, especially on clay. Um, so I only do this for the men's because I think it's easier, but I'm gonna take RBA in straight sets, minus 1.5 sets or 2-0. It's a decent price, I think minus 115. I don't really want to overthink this. I'm just gonna take the better player to win in straight sets. Pretty straightforward pick, I think. What say you?
Yeah. So unfortunately my book sucks and I don't get the set bets. But I was also leaning RBA here too. I think it was in April, or where was it? At Monte Carlo. RBA beat Tommy Paul 6-3, 6-4. I think we'll see potentially another repeat of that. Like I said before, matchups sometimes the second go around they tend to be a little bit tighter, but I think RBA's got it here. I think I was leaning towards the -4. Not sure if it would be one of my plays, but he would definitely be the person I like the best here. The game spread -4. Not too much to say about the match, other than I think RBA is just the better clay player.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a clay court warrior. Just in the first round, I think like he'll definitely be confident going into this and want to get a like easy, comfortable win to start his open. So yeah, I think pretty straightforward here. I think under is also might be a decent bet, 21.5. Uh,
Yeah, I like
but
that
no,
too.
I'm gonna rock with the sweep.
Yeah, I dig it. Alrighty. Next up, are we looking at ADF versus Dimitrov?
Yes, sir. ADF versus Dimitrov.
All right.
Man, I Dimitrov is a top 5 ATP bum. So I like to fade him every chance I get. I would love to play the over, um, but I worry that Dimitrov might get crushed. So I'm gonna take Davidovich minus some games here. I'm not
Same.
sure what the number is.
It's -2.
Uh,
It's not bad.
oh yeah, I don't think anyone can say no to that. Yeah, Dimitrov is just not that dude. ADF, he kind of bums out sometimes himself. But I think he's a better clay court player. More games, and I think he'll do okay this first round. Maybe not revisit him in the later rounds if he wins. But yeah, -2. You like it too?
Yeah, it's definitely a lean for me. If the money line was a little bit tighter, I'd probably prefer that. It's -150 on my book right now. Um, you mentioned the over. I was actually thinking maybe the under potentially. Um, just based
Mm.
off of the fact that uh, the more I look at it, the less I like it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could actually lean towards the under.
It's
Just
tricky. I
yeah,
think both dudes are unpredictable a little
yeah,
bit.
for sure. I think it'll be a
Hard
tight
to know
match,
what.
but
Go ahead.
yeah, I think it'll be a tight match. And the odds are definitely indicating that. But I think the lean here for me would be ADF -2 as well. I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
just
with you on that.
it's not that big of a spread. It kind of brings down from what the money line would be, and I just think there's much better value there than taking an over under here. Especially like you said, these guys are really unpredictable. A lot of uncertainty around both of them. It could go 3 sets or they could get absolutely destroyed, and I think that could go both ways. So yeah, I don't think Dimitrov will destroy ADF, but if ADF comes out hot, I think there's potential there for him to smack Dimitrov.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I like it. Um, definitely going to be more comfortable taking the side with ADF than the total either way. So
Yeah.
yeah. Next up, uh, I'm looking at John Millman versus Lyovicia.
Yep. I have two plays for this one. Two potential plays. Let me say that first.
All
What
right, so it's Millman in the over, right?
it is. It is. It is Millman in the over.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
That's spot on. Let's go.
Yes.
So yeah, what I see here, Millman, he's he's been playing not too bad, not too shabby. He's beaten some pretty good opponents. He's also lost some tight matches with some good opponents. Um, aside from losing to Rude and Munich. That's right. Um, but I just think Lajovic, I just don't think he can.
Lyovic.
I don't think he can hang. Um, I don't see Millman really running away with this one. I think it'll be a three setter. I think playing the over and Millman is definitely good value. I think we could see in that three sets. I think it will go over. I'm a little more confident in that. But I think Millman at plus money, even though it's even or plus 105, I think it's still great. I think he should be the favorite here personally.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think he's even money on my end. I think this is the same exact sort of matchup and odds on either side, just like Del Bonis versus Karen Khashanov today.
And
Um,
and we both like Del Bonis, and he got it
yes,
done.
and yep, it's like so like Del Bonis and Millman, and in this scenario, they're both the better clay court players in better form, whereas the Lyovic and Khashanov are the two players that are um, overall better, higher ranked, have had more success on tour, um, and are like the favorites by the slimmest of margins. But I think Millman has value. I like him to win. Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely think he'll go over Millman's last uh, four of his last six games on clay have gone over.
And I think
Yeah.
five would have been had Peja not retired. I think it would have been five out of the six because I believe Millman did he. I think he might have won the first set and then uh yeah. Oh no, Peja won the first set 6-4 and then Millman was up 2-0 whenever Peja retired. So I think it could have been five out of six. I think this is spot on over 100%. And Millman doubling down, trying to get that double play. If Lajovic wins, I think it'll be in three sets. So I think one of these
Yes,
hits,
sir.
and I think we have pretty good odds of both of these hitting. I'm confident in that as well.
Hell yes, bro. Facts. And the dog and over double dip is actually it hits more often than you think.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, dog and over. Hell
sweet.
yes. Next up,
Is it do you got Berrettini and Basilashvili? Basilashvili?
you can call him
Basil.
Basil.
That's what I've been
Yeah.
saying. All right, so this one's these guys are both having a great year. They've both
They're
won the tournament. Um, Berrettini has reached two straight finals. I believe both on clay. Is that right? Yeah, both on clay.
um
And he's
did he
he's
reach
been
another final?
yeah he won in Belgrade. And then he just lost in the final in Madrid. But I think this
Oh wow.
this man has great service games on clay. The only thing that scares me about leaning towards him here is that it's at -4 games and it's going up against Basil, who has been somewhat impressive this year. He's been impressive when he's playing well. He's been pretty horrid when he's been losing. So I'm kind of not really picking a side here. If I was going to pick a side, I think I would lean towards Berrettini. I think he would just come out, dominate his service games, and kind of not let Basil do much in terms of breaking. So that would be my lean, but really not much that I would be wanting to hop on here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup. Like Basil on his day can definitely make this a very interesting and exciting match to watch. Berrettini, I expect, some regression, especially in the early rounds.
Oh yeah.
If he make, if he progresses in Rome, I expect him not to be at the same level as as of how he finished Madrid, even though he lost. But um, plays I like here, I like Basil to win a set, plus 1.5 sets. It's even money, which I think is pretty cool. Basil, like we were saying yesterday, Basil is one of them dudes sometimes that uh, forgets that you got to win 12 games to win the match, and not only six. But you know what? He's actually good for getting you six sometimes. Yeah, or seven, depending. But uh, for those who can't play the to win the set or plus 1.5 sets, I do like the over as well. 21.5 is fair. And I think if we see dominant service games from both players in both sets, we can definitely see 7-5, 6-4 or something, or like two 7-5 games or some sets. Sorry, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually kind of like that a lot. I might even play both personally.
Nice. Yeah, this is one of the ones I'm probably gonna stay away from, but I like that. Berrettini likes to take games either the distance or play very tight sets. So I think the over here is solid value.
Absolutely.
All right, so moving on, we got what are you looking at? What are we seeing?
I'm seeing RCB and Cam Nori.
Let me see that. All right, let me get that one pulled up. All right, so RCB and Nori. Nori's been playing great. He's been playing pretty fantastic on clay. RCB being where he's from, he's a natural clay quarter. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, so I definitely would lean Nori here though. The line I believe is only 3 games, which I think should be closer to 3.5, 4. Or it's 3.5 on my book actually. But I would still be confident in that. I do see a potential over here. Both players tend to play those kind of like tighter sets, similar to Berrettini, like we discussed in the last one. And sometimes they tend to give up a set in their wins. But I think my more confident play here would be Nori -3 because I think that's or -3.5. I think that's a number that can still definitely be hit in a 3-set match. So yeah, that would be my play. Slight lean on the over, but Nori -3.5 would be my favorite play here.
Yo, I totally agree with you. As far as backing Nori, that's definitely what I'm gonna look to do. As far as the total goes, I actually like the under. I feel like Nori's a lot better than these lines or these odds make him out to be. He's been having an absolutely fantastic clay season, but he hasn't been doing too well in some of his wins lately, which is probably why we see these lines. But I definitely like Nori, and I definitely don't see no problems with under 21.5. I just don't think RCB can keep up. I think there's a massive gulf in quality. And if Nori plays like how Nori has been playing on clay, uh, this should be an easy -3 cover for sure.
Yeah, I was liking -3. It's now -3.5 on my book, but I think that's still something I'd probably lean towards. And it makes me even more confident seeing that you're on the under, even though I wasn't. I was considering the over, but that kind of contradicts my -3, -3.5. So yeah, I dig it. I think I'll probably be playing Nori -3.5, unless I might wait it out, see if maybe the line moves to -3 in my book, but if not, -3.5 is still pretty good for me.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. All right. So next up, I got Senego, and is it Monfils?
Monfils.
Monfils. Okay.
He's an
So
OG.
yeah, I back when I first got into tennis was actually last year. I was watching Monfils. He had a pretty decent year last year. I think from what I understand, he's been kind of in that top range of players for quite some time now. Um,
Yep.
Not always winning tournaments, but he's been hanging up there. He's been playing pretty good tennis his entire career, from what it seems. Sonego, he's played fairly well. He's got some good wins in beating Fritz, who's playing pretty well right now. He beat Fucsovic in Monte Carlo. The only thing that kind of scares me about this is Monfils not really playing too much as of late. He's 0-2 so far. His last tournament was in Melbourne. He lost in 5 sets, and there's a lot of uncertainty in this match for me. Monfils was also 0-3 last year on clay and hasn't played a single match on clay this year. So there's really nothing here that screams a play for me. But yeah, I think Monfils could potentially make this a good match. The only thing that scares me is his lack of play this year and his lack of wins on the clay court last year. So
Um, this is an interesting game. I think this is Monfils's first match since maybe
Melbourne,
of the year,
it
since the Australian Open.
yep,
Wow. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, I'm kind of liking the over. Monfils is really good on clay. Back in his prime, I mean, he's still the world number 14, and what you said was spot on. He always kind of hung up there. He can definitely play with the big boys. Um, maybe not today, but against someone like Sonego, I think it'll be relatively close. I don't think this is an easy game for Sonego. I wouldn't be comfortable taking um Monfils's games or plus 300 money line. Um, but once again, I do actually like the over. I don't think this will be an easy game for either player. So um, yeah, like Monfils will definitely put up a fight. I think he lacks the endurance and just overall quality and like rhythm to win this match. But he can definitely keep it close. Maybe win a set, go to 3.
yeah.
Um,
I would love to see
yeah, yeah,
Monfils come out and get the win. I would love to see it. I liked
yeah. It would be
watching him
nice.
last year. He's just that he's that old head that just hangs with the youngins. He's just hanging around, sticking around.
Yeah, bro, and he's got like so many trick shots too, which actually you don't see a lot like during the matches. He's really entertaining. He's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy. And fun fact, he just got engaged to Elena's Svitolina last
Oh
month.
wow, I would never guess that. But I don't know enough about personal lives of tennis players. So that'll come later as I get more in tune with who's who and what's what around here.
Yep, they've been dating for years. And yeah, he got her a ring and proposed to her, and I mean, it's all pretty cute, honestly. It's nice to see.
Well,
It's nice
Monfils,
to see.
I doubt it, but if you're listening to us, congratulations, my friend. All right, I think this one's probably gonna be a pass for me. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Shapovalov.
Shapovalov and I'm not even gonna
Don't
try to
even.
pronounce that.
No, me neither. Me neither. I can't even say that name. You want to call him Maj?
Mash, let's do it.
All right. My thoughts on this game, man. I think these days, regardless of who Shapovalov plays, I think he's worth a fade. Um, and he's going up against Maj, who is actually low key. Low key, he's a decent player. He's outside the top 100, but he's like starting to make some noise now. I rode him in the qualies. He beat not Nishikori, the other
Nishioka.
Japanese
I woke up
Nishioka.
and saw the Nishioka, and I was like, "Oh no, the over's dead." Even though the Nishikori over lost, I saw the Nishioka, and I was like, "No, it's over."
Yeah.
The first thing, yeah, but yeah,
Nishioka Nishikori. Yeah, man, that gets me. But no, Maj beat so in the qualies he beat Popurin, which is like a decent player on tour this year, and he absolutely whooped on Nishioka 6-3, 6-1. Um, so he definitely has all the confidence in the world. I actually watched some of that game on a really low quality stream, but now he looked good. Um, and Shapovalov, man, he's really worth a fade these days. His game on clay, he even admitted it in like multiple interviews that it's just not been there for him. He's not feeling it. Really hot headed. Um, if he doesn't like something, he'll say it. Like I don't even think he wants to be playing these games. Um, so I'm gonna rock with the dog, man. It's always exciting taking a relatively huge underdog, but he's actually only plus 200. Um, it's hard to find an angle to take because the plus four kind of puts me off. But I think I'm gonna go over 22 to see a competitive game from both players, and I don't think Shapovalov is gonna bum all the way out. But I definitely think that this will be a contest. And I think the plus four kind of suggests that they kind of expect it too. But I wouldn't be comfortable with a plus four in 3 sets, so I'm gonna go with the over.
Okay. Yeah. The over was on here for me. Super low confidence though. It was not like something I would be leaning towards making a play on. Just because Madge I know nothing about. The one thing that really stuck out to me was that statement win today, or not today, in the qualifiers against Nishioka, or was it today? I
It
don't.
was yesterday. I
Yesterday,
mean,
yesterday,
eh,
yesterday.
all the days seem to be like running
Yeah,
into each
they
other.
really do.
But yeah,
But yeah.
but yeah,
So yeah, the all my days are completely running together. But yeah, that was an impressive win for sure. Shapovalov, Shapovalov. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Um, oh goodness.
Chapo,
Um,
call him Chapo or Dennis the Menace.
Chapo, that's better. El Chapo. Um, yeah, I don't see, as you said, he's a fade. Seeing him lose to Harris in Dubai and her catch in Miami, uh, getting smacked by FAA in Barcelona, just not anything impressive at all. And it's good to hear what you said about him admitting to not being very good on clay. I think the over would be the best play here. These sides they don't really make. Or I don't even see any type of edge for either of these players. Maj has a lot more to lose, or a lot. He's got nothing to lose. So I think he'll
Hmm.
come out here on fire. Chapo, if he loses to Madge, that'd be a just a grueling loss for him in the first round. And just I think he's trending in the wrong direction. But yeah, I don't think I'll be playing anything here, but the over would definitely be in my in the best interest to me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It'll be interesting. I kind of want to see how whoever wins. It'll be interesting to see how they perform moving forward. I think these are two like exciting players to follow. Other than the regular players you just constantly see making runs in the tournaments.
Yeah,
So
Madge could be a Cinderella story if he made a run here. That'd be crazy.
yeah, bro, he plays hard, man. He plays hard. He's got a good serve. And from what I saw yesterday, he can hit
That
all kinds of shots.
I'll
So
I'll peek in on that one. I'd like to see where he's at and where his game's at because I've never even heard of him. So, yeah,
no,
it'd be nice to
me
see.
neither. And yeah, me neither until a couple of days ago when I saw he's playing Popurin.
Yeah. So yeah, let's move on. Next up we got the Joker versus Fritz. Last time they met up was this year in the Australian Open. Went to 5 sets. Very surprising to be honest, for to me at least. Um, I think the line is actually -5 right now for the Joker, which I think is actually great value. He's coming off a big upset against Karatsev in the semifinals of Belgrade, while Fritz is coming off an upset against Dan Evans, or he upset Dan Evans and in dominant fashion too, which is pretty crazy. I know you're on Evans there, so we're both
Ouch.
surprised with that. But as far as their past on clay, they played twice in 2019. Djokovic won 6-4, 6-2. And then prior to that, he won 6-3, 6-0. So I think Djokovic is just the much more dominant clay player here. Fritz hasn't really shown any type of like ability on clay to really get the job done, other than yesterday against Dan Evans. Um, he lost in the first round in the previous two tournaments in Madrid and Monte Carlo to RBA and ARV, who are both great clay players. But I just think Djokovic, if the line sits at -5, I think I'll hop on that. I think it's just I see this being more of like a -6, -5.5 match. I think Djokovic at least wins by 5. So that would be my take on that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with everything. with these bigger spreads, involving really really good players versus I mean like a superstar versus like an average player. I kind of like the under because there's sort of no threat of seeing like a 7-5 set.
Yeah,
Um, so like a 19 and a half or a 20. I actually don't see a total for this on my book, but I'm guessing that it's 19 and a half or 20 and a half.
I don't see it on my
Um,
book, but on Bovada they have it at 20.
okay, you see, I'd like that.
Yeah, definitely.
At worst case, like a 6-4, 6-4, which is the equivalent of -4, it would push. So like yeah, minus an under 20 actually, I think that'd be a fantastic bet to take for sure.
I think you swayed me here. I think you got me onto something. I just saw the -5 and I saw that and I was interested, but I think the under here has even more value. The -5 that I'm
Definitely.
seeing is -125. The under 20 is -110 from what I'm seeing. So yeah, I think the
Oh
matchup
yeah.
here definitely takes out any threat of like a 7-5, something like that, like you were saying. I don't think we'll be seeing any tie breaks or anything like that. As long as Joker comes and plays half the half of his full potential, I think this will definitely stay under. I agree with that 100%. But yeah, I think I would honestly change my pick from -5 to the under just based off of what you just said.
So
Yeah, you
oh
sold me
yes.
again. Another one.
Yes, sir. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, hopefully he plays well. I mean he can definitely get this done with so much ease. And he's the type of guy that would want to do that. Um uh so yeah, should be good under 20.
For sure. Next up we got I'm looking at Nishikori and Coreno Busta.
All
Um,
right, so
yeah, start us off.
you want
Kick
you
it
want
off. No, you run this. Make
all
it
right.
happen.
I'm a fade PCB and any Spanish player anytime I get. Nishikori came through for me yesterday with being my 3 unit ATP play. He looked very good, even though he was playing Fognini. Um, I think he's gonna get it going here. He's a really good player. I like him a lot. His game is good. PCB man is just so inconsistent sometimes. Always seems to like struggle in matches and have to try really, really hard. And he is good. He is capable, but I'm a ride Nishikori. I honestly think he can win this in straight sets if he plays well. Oh, and at plus money or even money, I don't think I can say no to that.
Yeah. I agree with you. I personally would be on the over here. He let me down with the over in the last match, but I think this is a much tighter looking match than Fognini, Fade
Mhm.
Nini. But yeah, the line's at 22. Like I said in the last episode, Nishikori is the over king. He loves those three setters. He loves a nice long match. Maybe he does it on purpose. Who knows? Maybe he wins a set
Mhm.
and just lets the other one slide. Obviously, that's not the case, but he loves to hang around in these matches, and I could see this one going to 3 sets for sure. Obviously, the under in the last match knocks it down a little bit. So in Nishikori's last, let me get a little count here. In his last, what is it, 9 matches, he 7 of them have gone to 3 sets. Um, the Nadal one would have, I believe, hit the under, even though it went to 3. But that's just a different type of match there. Nadal was won the first set 6-0, won the last set 6-2. And I don't see anything like that happening with Carreno Busta. So yeah, I see this one going to 3 sets. I think I'll be rocking with the over, just a unit, just keeping it light. But this is one of my favorite ATP picks of the day, just based off of the fact that both of them tend to go to 3 sets. When Carreno Busta loses to an opponent of similar caliber to Nishikori, it normally ends up with a 3 setter or at least a tight match. So yeah, that's my pick for them for this one.
Okay, fair enough, man. I think you're onto something. I do just want to say though that if Nishikori wins the first set, I won't be rooting for your over. I'd want him to get it done right away
Hey,
because
that's fine.
I hate stressing out a money line. But however, if he does lose the first set, then I'm all on board on this over for sure to see it. to see
Yeah.
a 2-1 come from behind win. So yeah,
Sweet.
I fucks with it.
All right. Cool. All right. Next up, I'm looking at Musetti and Opelka.
Yeah, man, what an ew matchup.
I agree. It is definitely a disgusting one.
Um, yeah, like I think I might have to use my one pass on this.
Yeah.
I
You think?
I don't even yeah, I mean this yeah, I don't even want this game to happen. Like ew, honestly.
Fair enough. I mean, I have plenty of passes to go around, so I'll gladly give you one for this one. I tend to pass on a lot of matches that I just don't really know enough about. At least players that I don't know enough about. You were spot on with the Musetti pick in the first round. I didn't play her catch, thank God, but I considered it. But I didn't, so I'm a happy man. And unfortunately, your bet was voided, which sucks. But you were onto something. You had the right pick, and that's
Hmm.
big. So me personally, looking at this matchup, if I had to pick a side, which I'm ultimately not going to play this match. Like you said, it's not a good one at all, not a pretty one. But if I had to pick a side, I would maybe lean Musetti. But that's really out there, really out there. Opelka just is on a pretty bad streak, and he won pretty convincingly in the first round against a not a slightly below average player, or average to below average. I don't see any value in anything here. I think there's a potential chance for an under here, but not in my confidence to make a pick or make a play. So I would lean Musetti -3.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's really tough.
There is
Opelka
one thing.
has a massive serve.
Yeah, I saw the highlights from his first match, and I saw that.
So I don't know how Musetti's gonna deal with that. I feel like he's gonna struggle breaking Opelka for most of the match. But I don't see Opelka causing any trouble to Musetti on his service games. So maybe over 23.5, which is a big number,
I was
but
thinking
kind of makes
under
sense.
because it's such a big number, and both of these guys tend to either lose or win in two setters. I was leaning under, but that again is with nothing to back it. So I don't. Yeah, that I shouldn't have even thrown that out there. No
No, man,
confidence, zero
this is a
confidence.
really sticky game.
Yeah,
No, like this is an ugly game. I needed to happen and just sort of disappear from my phone and my
fade,
screen.
fade it. Stay
Um,
away, everybody. Stay away from this match.
yeah, ew. I hope Musetti wins though. I mean, he probably will in the end. Um, I do kind of want to ride him versus an someone that isn't 7 feet tall. Um, yeah, yeah. Musetti, I think after this round, there'll be fans in the after this. Yeah, after the second round, there'll be fans in the stadiums. And I would love to watch a Musetti match and a Sinner match. With a crowd. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right. What are we looking at next? We got 3 more matchups, and that'll cap off our day 2 analysis. Get us going.
All right, I'm seeing Small Man versus FAA.
Yep. Small man.
Ay, 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 Small Man. Both of these players are players I would like to fade. In round 2, 3 in tournaments. But they play each other. I like over and FAA or FAA. I'm gonna do my over and dog on this game. Not sure if I'll pull trigger on both or either one, but that would be that'd be what I do. Over and FAA. What say
I
you?
respect it. I respect it. I have right next to the over for me. I also wrote big fade in all caps because this is a matchup that I think could go either way. I like FAA for sure. Small man is a small man, and that just speaks for itself. But yeah, this matchup, just want to. I think I've already got enough picks that I like in the ATP that there's really nothing I would play here. But if I were to play something, it would be the over. But fade would be my first choice here. So that's kind of where I'm at. I would be just kind of fading this one.
Fair enough. I really might just take the plus 160 money line on Felix and sort of just hope he wins. Cause man, I really don't like small man these days. He's so up and down, wishy washy.
Yeah,
Felix is a good kid, man.
I think it's a good
Big
line.
left.
That's a good line
Yeah,
for him as a dog.
yeah. Yeah. I kind of fuck with it. I did watch his game before yesterday. Forget who he played.
He
Um,
played Krejcikova. Krejcikova.
yeah.
I'm so bad at pronouncing these names, man.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. It did go to 3 sets, and he looked very good, very composed. When he won that third set. So, yeah, I might rock with him. I think, yeah, like you said, this is a nice line for sure. Definitely an attractive price.
If I do take a play, I might tell you, and do like a half unit, which I don't typically do, but it is good value. It's great value,
Yeah,
especially for him as
facts.
a dog. He's a dog that could definitely come out and do something here. And small man went to 3 sets with TFO in in Barcelona, and that speaks for itself. That's an embarrassment.
Yeah,
Um,
that's no good.
yeah. And he also took a first round exit in Madrid to Karatsev, which Karatsev is pretty hot and cold in my opinion. Um, but
Yeah,
a good player nonetheless.
yeah, he ain't got no clay game, man. A lot of these Russians, bro, they're such good tennis players. Like their fundamentals are probably some of the best on tour. They just really can't play on clay. Like you look at Medvedev, like technically speaking, that dude has such good form and technique with everything that he does. Like serving, forehand, backhand, all that stuff. But they just cannot play on clay. I don't know what it is.
Are we hopping
But
right
yeah,
into that matchup?
oh yeah,
That's the
yeah, for
matchup, man.
sure.
That's the matchup.
Yeah, man, this would be a banger on the hard court.
It
This would
would.
be so crazy on a hard court where these guys can just like smack the shit out of the ball and it would be so crazy. Um, but Karatsev and Medvedev game of the day in the ATP for sure. Along with maybe Felix and Smallman and then Nishikori and PCB.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But
Nishikori for sure is up there.
yeah, man, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. You go first. You go first on this one.
Okay, so as you said, both of these guys, not nearly as strong on the clay as they are on hard courts. One thing that I was looking at was their previous records from year to year. I know it doesn't always translate, but Karatsev had a pretty good showing last year on clay, 17-2, which is pretty impressive. This year 7-3. Medvedev 1-1, and then Karatsev also beat Djokovic and lost to Berrettini, who's playing phenomenal tennis right now. So couldn't really pick a side, but I kind of would lean towards the over, just based off the fact that Medvedev is a good player regardless of the service. So he's gonna come to play. He's gonna keep it interesting, and I think he'll be able to hang on and at least grab maybe a set, or at least keep it tight enough to where that we may see a tie break. We may see at least a 7-5 or something like that. I don't know what the over under line is currently, but I think that's probably where my head would be at in terms of this matchup. But this is another one where I just very low confidence. Anything could happen. But I think the over would be my best bet here.
Okay. So the over is 22 and a half,
Oh,
which I
that's a
think is
little
pretty
higher than I
standard for
expected.
ATP.
I thought it would be like
Oh,
22.
okay.
I mean, I
Uh,
guess at 22.5 that's fair.
yeah, I feel like that's a standard for most uh like even
Yeah.
ATP matches. Um, but no, I'm gonna go with the suckers bet. Um, I want to take Karatsev. Why not? I mean,
Minus a
he's
game,
giving
or
a
you're
will.
talking money line?
Money line minus 125. This might be a trap, and I think I'm getting baited into this, but
Take it. Take the bait.
yeah, I'm gonna eat it up for sure. Yeah, Medvedev also like Shapovalov in Madrid. He was saying, "Oh, I hate clay. This is a shitty surface. The court sucks." He's kind of outspoken like that too. Again, like I don't think he wants to be doing this or playing this. People like him would just much rather, you know, do all just kill people on hard courts.
Yeah.
And they don't kind of take the other surfaces too seriously. Um, so yeah, I like Karatsev. He's 2-0 head to head in this series, even though those two games were uh, way back. Um, but yeah, this will be a banger. It's the nightcap. It's the last game of the day in on center court. So yeah, I'm a rock with Aslan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great match to finish the day off. And I think it'd be super rewarding for you to get a dub to finish the day. Unlike today with
Right,
the unfortunate push. Sad. It was just sad. But
bro.
I
Today started and ended so bad, but everything in
the
between
in
was so
between was
good.
good. Yep. Today was
Yeah, kind of.
That's exactly what happened to me. Um
Yeah.
Same boat. Day started off pretty even. I was sitting pretty even. Rogers really let me down, but that's something I just have to learn from. You urged me not to take that, and I didn't listen, and yeah, I paid the price. But the middle of the day was solid. Things started to pick up. Had potential to have a really solid day, and then ended up losing my final pick, which I'm not too upset about. It's okay, but we'll get it
Oh,
back today.
Bublik.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
I
Yeah.
yeah. Oh well, we got one more. Federico Del Bonis versus David Goffin.
All right.
Um,
What you think? You want
just
me?
like Nishikori, I'm gonna run it back with Del Bonis.
Okay.
He's a respectable player, man. He plays hard. Like I always say, I love seeing that if I'm gonna back someone on the money line. So, I mean, Goffin is nothing special. I think the price is fair. I'm seeing plus 120 Del Bonis,
Yep.
minus 150 for Goffin. So I think that's fair. Maybe it could be a little closer. But I don't take Del Bonis on the money line. Maybe he has a run of his own. Yeah. What say you?
Yeah. So when I looked at this, I I was a little, I don't know, I was a little thrown off. Just seeing that Goffin, he gets dominated by Nori in Barcelona. And then previously in Monte Carlo, he had a decent run. He beat Zverev. And had some pretty good wins before that. But prior to that, he seems like one of those hot and cold players. He had some pretty bad losses coming into that, but it seems like clay is kind of where he's shining this year. I just I don't really see. I don't know. Yeah, Del Bonis is playing well right now. So if I was gonna take something, this wouldn't be my pick, but I would probably rock with you on the Del Bonis money line plus money. You can't beat it for a player who's playing really well right now. Um, but my personal pick would just be to pass on this matchup. Like I said previously, I think there's a lot of great plays to go on earlier on in the day. I think I'm gonna limit myself to 3, maybe 4 ATP picks, and then really go hard on WTA. So rounding off the day, I think I would probably hold off on this. Um, if we saw some increase in movement from 120 plus 120 to even higher, like plus 130, 140, I'll probably sprinkle a little bit. But as of right now, I think I'll probably fade this matchup.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not the most attractive game. Neither of these guys' play styles are too exciting. But yeah, um, dude, I'm so excited to see how tomorrow goes. I think it should be good. At first, when I saw these games, I was like, "Oh man, I hate this." Um,
There's a lot of
but then,
tight matchups.
yeah, man, it's tricky. Yeah, but I'm loving it now. Once you kind of sit down and really look at the games and have an idea what the lines are, you kind of be like, "Oh, okay, I kind of like this."
Yeah, for
So
sure. Us discussing it on here really gives me like a little bit of a different perspective. Me just like talking about it even helps me like helps myself like visualize what I might see, or like it may reassure some of my picks, but it also steers me clear of some picks that like sounded good on paper at first, but once we started discussing it, kind of just didn't seem to fit right. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is yeah. I feel a lot more confident now that we've discussed all these games or all these matches. And I think I've got some plays that I'm ready to lock in. I think I haven't placed anything yet, but I think I'm right after this, right before I edit this podcast, I'm going to throw down.
Hell yes, man. Yeah, this is really useful, and I hope that anyone who's listening also finds this beneficial. Like overall, I feel like, like if we were to look back at this, like even like yesterday, I think we were maybe 80% spot on with what we said. I don't know how we did on the leans and sort of like our feelings for some of the games, but I feel like we did all right.
Yeah, I
And
think so too.
I hope today's better picks wise. I have nothing locked in. My bet slip just has one bet right now, and it's Kudermetova plus 150. Which I'm so glad I took when I did, because it's now plus 120.
Mertens minus
But yeah,
2.5, baby. Crack the safe. Let's go.
yo, get out of here, man. That's
Hey, they could both hit. You never know.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they definitely can both hit.
That's a
If
long shot, but you never know.
Mertens needs a 6-0 for sure for that to hit
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and
Without a doubt.
and lose. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. After like doing the ATP now, I totally forgot about the WTA games. And yeah, man, I'm so hyped for both. Looks like there's like three, maybe four bangers on each slate. So yeah, man, exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I do better than I did today. I think I'll probably do. I want to say 8 and 6. Maybe make it 15 picks, which I know is a lot, but honestly, sometimes I feel like I could play every single fucking game, except for like one or two. Um, but I'm not gonna do that, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, look forward to putting my card together and seeing yours as well.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna rock with maybe 10 to 12, which is normally more than what I would typically run with. But I after talking this over, I think there's a lot of picks that I feel pretty strongly about. So yeah, I'm ready to get it rolling. If you guys are still listening, we post our official plays in the Bearded Betters Discord. It's a fantastic place to discuss any sport, tennis, basketball, you name it, darts. We're talking about it all. A lot of great guys post their picks. Ducky, Yinzer. It's run by Corey. If you guys drop in, you'll feel the love. You'll feel invited, and the Discord link is down in the description. Come check it out. Come join us. We talk about the matches pregame, postgame, live, everything. So yeah, just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, it gets so litty in there when it during the matches. Usually I started off complaining about a player's forehand or something. Um, but it gets pretty hype when when we're all on board on a game and we all win together like that. That shit is hype for sure.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
gonna be it for
yeah,
us. I gotta get to editing so I can get this posted in time for the matches. Best of luck to everybody. Best of luck to you, of course. Thanks again. I think we rocked this podcast. I think we had another great one, great discussion. And we're just gonna keep the ball rolling
every damn day, bro. Yes,
every
sir.
damn day. Let's go. All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night, morning, day, whatever you're up to. You might be sipping some coffee, eating some lunch. I'm rambling, but that's it from us. Peace out, you guys.
Later.